Hello everyone, spring has sprung, as the saying goes, here in Virginia now, and everything has just woken up. It seems like it was just waiting for spring to make its way. We have everything going crazy already. Everything has just woken up. There is things blooming already. They're just green everywhere, and it is just a very exciting time to make our ways back into the garden and get going. The temperatures have been so amazing right now that it's just warmed up, and we have the hydrangeas that they were probably like a week ago they had buds, and now they actually have leaves. So I think we need to get going with these hydrangeas. We have so many that we brought from our past garden that we are going to go ahead and clean up right now and prune back. The ones we are going to clean up right now are all the panicle hydrangeas. So rainy day here, we're going to try to do this as quick as possible before the rain comes back again. That's the reason we've had to wait so long to be able to come and cut back these hydrangeas. So first though, I wanted to take you to the front to let y'all see the hydrangeas that we planted this fall. So excuse the trash cans, we're making our way to the front right now. And for anybody that has been watching since this past fall, and if y'all remember, we planted 3 Limelight Hydrangeas up here. So these don't need to be pruned back because our landscapers from here, from housing, our neighborhood, went ahead and did that job for us. It was pretty early when that got done, and I'm not gonna say I wasn't freaking out, I was, but we usually don't prune them around anytime winter. It happened, it got done. They're fine though. Tough plants, they're gonna be okay. They're already leafing out, if y'all can see, so we're truly excited to see how big they're gonna get and how beautiful they're gonna produce those blooms in summer. So let's go ahead and get out back there, and we will be pruning the hydrangeas. Okay, so these are the 3 Zinfandels that we have. These 2 right here on my side, the front, and this one over here. This one has not gotten cut back yet. Like I said, it's been raining, so we've been trying to come in and out and do little by little. We did go hard on these. We sure cut them back, and we also did cut the Amazon mist back. My daughter actually helped with this the other day, and y'all can see that beautiful green is starting to come back. So we're gonna go ahead and set up the camera, and we're gonna get going.
So before we get started pruning, I want to talk about this hydrangea right here first. It's a Limelight Hydrangea. We had these in the ground. It's a paniculata hydrangea, so these can get pruned in late winter, early spring when it starts to show new growth. As you can see, this is showing a lot of new growth, but you can actually prune it back when it has about 3 inches of growth. But the main reason you want to do it before it starts showing growth is because you want to see where exactly you're going to prune before some of the buds, and you want to be able to see inside the hydrangea as well when you start pruning. What we're going to do is, you can see this is an older hydrangea. It's almost about 4 to 4.5 feet tall. We had this from the ground, and it's probably going to go back in the ground. But what we want to do is go ahead and prune it back about 1/2 to 2/3 so we can get that growth on the stronger stems and not on these dainty stems right here where it's going to weigh it down a little bit. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go around again, like I said, and cut it about halfway to 2/3 down. Alright, so now that I pruned this back quite a bit, next thing you want to do is you want to come back and take out all the thin growth. That way it gives it more energy to these thicker stems and it starts producing. Now these will put on some growth pretty quick. I'm talking about 2 to 3 feet of growth fairly fast. It's still early spring here and everything's starting to come to life. But these guys will put on some growth fairly quick, and you'll see these. We'll do a revisit on these and show you how they look like after we prune them. But as you can see, I cut these back more than half. I actually cut them back about 2/3. I think it's just going to give it a nice overall growth. cutting it back that much. But once you cut off all the thinner stems that are growing on the thicker ones, next thing you want to do is you want to go in and look at stuff that's growing inside and not actually outside, so you have a nice canopy instead of having those buds growing inwards and creating kind of a mess in the center there.
Now I went ahead and cut really back the ones back here because they had a very bad shape. When we got here, there wasn't that much. We didn't know exactly where to put them. We were still learning about the areas that would get more sun, and they just started to get very leggy on us. So I just went ahead and pruned them real hard so they can just come right back and give us a nice shape this year. So we're gonna go ahead and do the Limelight tree hydrangeas that we have. We weren't gonna do it right now, include this in this video, but we had to actually stop for a little bit because it's starting to rain, and I don't think it's gonna stop raining for a while, so we're just gonna get it done. So
this one we're actually gonna go back maybe about halfway because it's gonna put on quite a bit of growth. As you can see, these stems are already thick, so we don't want to really take out any of the bigger stems. We just want to create a nice canopy for this since it is a hydrangea standard, and we want to get rid of all the thin growth or any dead wood that you see.
all these little pieces that are just...
So for instance, anything that's growing out to the side and bottom, you want to go ahead and take those off, only because we want a canopy and not something growing downwards. I know the hydrangea standards are a little bit trickier to prune. I was kind of hesitant to do it because I wanted to make sure that we're going to prune it the right way, and it creates a nice canopy, but it's really the same as the ones that are growing in the ground. It's just a matter of how you prune it and keep this one going upright, kind of like a cone shape.
Okay, so this will be it for today on the Pruning the Hydrangeas. We have a lot, we're gonna keep going. We have a lot more to do. We just didn't want to make this video longer than what it should. It's gonna rain again, and we're just trying to beat the rain and get going.
Yeah, so definitely, like I said, we do have a video where we did some pruning, and we can put that on the link above. That way you guys can take a look at that. But it's not really that hard to prune the paniculatas, especially when they grow on new wood. They'll grow on old wood as well. In that video, I also show how talk about the macrophylla hydrangeas, how they grow on old wood, and some of the oak leaf hydrangeas. But like Angie said, I know we kind of rushed through this one. But we do have plenty of other hydrangeas that we have to prune as well.
We still have, maybe we can show that one. I don't know if we'll have time because of the rain. There's still, I was able to bring an Annabelle from, almost forgot that.
We'll actually go and show that one right now because we do have smooth hydrangeas that we want to prune back. I'm going to show you with those hydrangeas how you can prune those as well.
So we'll go ahead and do that quickly, and then we'll end the video.
Yep.
Okay, so I managed to save an Annabelle hydrangea from our past garden. This is the little pot of horrors, as I called it a while back in one of our past videos, because I have like so many things propagating in there right now, that cuttings that I took from stuff. But I did manage to save one of the little plants that it was shooting out. This one, Annabelle Hydrangea, is a smooth leaf hydrangea. Now it grows on new and old wood, so it's okay to go ahead, and I'm just gonna cut it back, guys, all the way. This is not like the smooth, like the mop heads, which you can't do that too, because then you will lose this year's blooms. So I'm just cutting it back all the way. And that's it on that one. Now I'm gonna go ahead and let Ambrose show you these three back here that got planted in fall.
So as Angie said, the smooth hydrangeas grow on new wood. These you can literally take a lawnmower and drive right over them because these grow pretty fast. When I say fast, is we literally cut one down to the ground and it was about 3 to 4 feet tall. By the middle of summer, it was ridiculous, and the blooms were about that big around. So I'm going to do something that's probably going to look kind of drastic, but I'm just going to take my pruners and I'm just going to snip away here. Now for the smooth hydrangea, I'm not really too worried about shape because it's going to be in this terrace bed back here, and we want to keep it as condensed as possible. Now if it was out in the garden, in the ground, anywhere, we just let this one absolutely grow however it wanted to, because it has a nice growth to it already to begin with. When it starts to grow, it has a nice shrub look to it, and those blooms just completely cover that whole shrub, so you can't really tell what form it is in. But again, this is I know it looks pretty drastic, but that's the best way to prune these smooth hydrangeas, and you'll see in the next month or so how much growth it's actually going to put on there.
Okay, so this is it, like really it now. Yeah. What do you want to say?
I mean, that's pretty much it with pruning hydrangeas. I know sometimes we get wrapped around, you know, when to prune, how to prune, and things of that nature. And we kind of get confused, I guess. I know.
Or the fear. I have fear of cutting things, but I've learned so much now that it's the best thing you can do for some
As you
plants.
can see, these things, they absolutely grow quickly. Yeah. Hydrangeas are probably, one thing that I read before is they were weeds at one point, and they grow like weeds. It's just a beautiful weed. And that's why we absolutely love the hydrangeas, because they grow fairly quickly. Aside from the old wood, like I explained earlier, I mean, you can't really prune those back too much. When you prune those, you're more than likely to take off next year's growth.
And especially in our area, it's humid. We're still going to have a humid climate here in Virginia. Oh, yeah. North Carolina, these things just took off crazy. Yeah, so I know a couple of, you know, it hasn't been that long since spring got here, but we're noticing the difference. The plants are loving it because it just rains so much. So it's just feeding the plants with all this great stuff already. They're getting, they're getting what they need.
Yep.
And they're just producing all this new growth already, which is ridiculous. So that's what we're doing right now, guys. We're just running around the garden, taking our moments when it's not running.
Yep.
I mean, raining, and just taking care of it as quickly as possible, because the plants are not waiting.
Oh yeah, definitely not waiting. They're creeping up on us quick. That's going to do it for the videos, guys. Yeah. Like I said, we still got a lot more projects, lots left to do in the garden, so we're excited about that. But that's going to do it for the video, guys, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
See you later, guys. Bye-bye.